Assalamualaikum, my name is Siti Fairul binti Ismail. Today I will present about my proposal. The title of my proposal is How the COVID-19 Pandemic Affect the Unemployment Rate in Malaysia. Background of the study. The COVID-19 virus, or also known as the new type of coronavirus, has been a source of problem in many countries. Since the outbreak of this virus, very significant impact have occurred in many ways. Because of the application of the social distancing issue by the government, the activity of the Malaysia citizens have greatly reduced than usual. This policy has greatly affected producer and business people in Malaysia from small, medium and large scale direct contact in daily life, including buying and selling transactions, also decreased significantly. This reduction in transaction caused shopkeepers and business people to lay off their employees and workers. Problem statement. The uptrend of the COVID-19 pandemic has affected the local and global community in many different aspects, most notably on the financial episode, where the unemployment rate is on the rise. This has affected not only individuals but also their families, which in turn break havoc to the stability of economy. The loss of job can have wide-ranging negative consequences. It can have a negative effect on the economic stability of the family. Job loss also adversely impact the physical and mental health and marital relationship. Research question. Is there significant relationship between gender towards the unemployment rate in Malaysia during COVID-19 pandemic? Second, is there significant relationship between qualification level towards the unemployment rate in Malaysia during COVID-19 pandemic? Next, is there significant relationship between experience towards the unemployment rate in Malaysia during COVID-19 pandemic? Research objective. First, to determine relationship between gender towards the unemployment rate in Malaysia during COVID-19 pandemic. Second, to determine relationship between qualification level towards the unemployment rate in Malaysia during COVID-19 pandemic. And lastly, to determine relationship between experience towards the unemployment rate in Malaysia during COVID-19 pandemic. The significance of the study, which is employment and unemployed and employment sector. First, employee and unemployment. Employee and unemployed play important roles in this research paper because they are known how the COVID-19 pandemic affect the unemployment rate in Malaysia. By starting their own company or taking a part-time job to keep them over when searching for full-time job, unemployed people may gain some money. Second, employment sector. Food service and drinking area such as restaurant and bar are the industry experiencing significant decline in job during COVID-19. This study is important to those employment sector that facing severe decline in unemployment during COVID-19 pandemic because they can know the reason why their sector facing severe decline in employment during COVID-19 pandemic. Conceptual framework. IV, gender, qualification level and experience. PV is unemployment rate. Research hypothesis. First, there is no relationship between gender and the unemployment rate during COVID-19 pandemic. there is significant relationship between gender and the unemployment rate during COVID-19. Second, there is no relationship between qualification level and the unemployment rate during COVID-19 pandemic. There is significant relationship between qualification level and the unemployment rate. There is significant relationship between experience and the unemployment rate during COVID-19 pandemic. Next, methodology, research design. This research will use the quantitative style to collect data because the quantitative method taking a less amount of time to collect data and it can easily collect the data at one time. This research will use the Google form to collect data, which is doing a questionnaire in Google form. Next, data collection method, which is primary data and secondary data. For primary data, the primary data that has been used of this research is from the questionnaire in Google Form, and for secondary data, this research using newspaper, website and so on to find reference for definition and theorems. Population of the study is the youth, unemployed, person who been laid off from work during COVID-19 pandemic, those who affected and not affected by the unemployment with resulting from the pandemic. Next, sample size. It will be distributed for 100 respondents. Sampling method. The probability sampling technique, which is simple random sampling method, are defined in this analysis. People who is the age range 18 years old until 50 years old and above have been the target of this sampling method. Research instrument development using questionnaire in Google Form. Measurement of the variable. This research using nominal variable with the close-end type, which is for the part A that has been listed at the questionnaire design. Researcher will use the nominal variable with the close-end type, and this research also use ordinal variable with Likert scale. For the part B to D, researcher will use the ordinal variable with the Likert scale. And lastly,
Procedure for data analysis. This research will use descriptive analysis, Pearson correlation analysis, Bayes sympathy test, and regression analysis.
for descriptive analysis, to provide a sample description and to clarify the amount of data in the analysis will be measured in statistic or data that will show in pie chart at part B until part D. Next, Pearson correlation analysis. Questionnaire result will be interpreted into a percentage type. Question in part A will be measured through mean, mode, median and standard deviation. This study is applied to analyze the connection between respectively variables. Pair sample t-test. Pair sample t-test is a statistical method used to assess if zero is the mean difference between two sets of observations. For example, in this research, the researcher may consider will be to measure the earning of the person before and during pandemic and to analyze the difference using a pair sample t-test.
For regression analysis, in this research, for the case of unemployment, regression analysis, which is multiply linear regression, will be used to identify the significant factor, which is gender, qualification level, and experience.
That's all. Thank you.